Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Now in this video we are going to complete exercise number 2.3. So here is our first question. In this question we have to determine whether x plus 1 is a factor of these polynomials or not, right? So to check whether this is a factor of this polynomial or not, we have a factor theorem. Now what factor theorem states? Factor theorem states that if px is any polynomial with degree greater than equal to 1 and a is in a real number, then p of a is equal to 0, then we can say x minus a is a factor of px, right? So here we have x plus 1 as a factor. So compare it with x minus a. By comparing it, you get a is equal to minus 1. Very easy, right? Ax, here I have plus and here I have minus, so I have to change the sign. So a is equal to minus 1. Now our target is we have to check whether p of a is equal to 0 or not. If it is 0, then we can say x plus 1 is factor. If it is not, then we can say x plus 1 is not a factor of this polynomial, right? So very easy. Our first one is p of x is equal to x cube plus x square plus x plus 1. Now do it for p of minus 1, right? Because we have p of a is equal to p of minus 1. So minus 1 cube plus minus 1 square plus minus 1 plus 1. Very easy. Minus 1 cube will be minus 1. Minus 1 square will be plus 1. Then again I have minus 1 and plus 1. So my answer is 0. So I get p of minus 1 is equal to 0. So I can say that by factor theorem, x plus 1 is factor of this polynomial, right? You have to write the sentence by factor theorem. X plus 1 is factor of px, right? Now here we have px as this polynomial. So very easy, right? Now we will do second question. Our second question is we have px as x power 4 plus x power 3 plus x power 2 plus x plus 1, right? Now again we have to do the same process. Find the p of minus 1. If it is 0, then by factor theorem we can say that x plus 1 is a factor of this polynomial. So put a value x is equal to minus 1. Minus 1 power 4 plus minus 1 power 3 plus minus 1 square plus minus 1 plus 1. Now minus 1 power 4, that is plus 1 cube, so I have to write minus 1. Now here is a square, so I have to write plus 1, again minus 1 and plus 1. So minus 1 plus 1 cut, minus 1 plus 1 cut, and I have only positive 1. It is not equal to 0. So by factor theorem I can say that x plus 1 is not a factor of this polynomial, right? So for the second one, x plus 1 is not a factor for this polynomial. Now we go to the third one. And our third p of x is equal to, we have x power 4 plus 3x power cube plus 3x power square plus x plus 1. Right, now we have to find p of minus 1 for this polynomial. P of minus 1 will be minus 1 power 4 plus 3 in bracket minus 1 cube plus 3 in bracket minus 1 square plus minus 1 plus 1. Very easy, right? For checking the factor, to check whether the given polynomial is factor of another polynomial, yes or no, just compare it with x minus a, find value of a. Now after finding value of a, just find p of a, right? We are doing the same process for all the polynomials. Now minus 1 power 4, that is positive 1. Again I have minus 1 cube, that is negative 1, and multiply 3, so I have to write minus 3 here. Now here I have to write plus 3, minus 1 and plus 1. So minus 3 plus 3 cut, minus 1 plus 1 cut, I get remainder as plus 1. So it is not equal to 0. So x plus 1 is not a factor of this polynomial, right? Very easy. Now for fourth polynomial, p of x is equal to x cube minus x square minus bracket 2 plus root 2 bracket x plus root 2, right? Now just put x is equal to minus 1 in this polynomial. So minus 1 power 3 minus minus 1 power 2 minus in bracket 2 plus root 2 in bracket minus 1 plus root 2. Right? Now minus 1 power 3, that is minus 1, minus 1 power 2, that is plus 1, but I have minus sign here, so I have to write minus 1 and minus 1. Now here I have minus sign and again multiplication minus 1, so it will be plus 1. 2 plus root 2 plus root 2, right? So my final answer will be minus 2 plus 2 plus root 2 plus root 2, right? I have just opened the bracket. Here I have plus sign, so there will be no change in this bracket, right? But if there is minus sign here, so I have to change the sign of both terms. So minus 2 plus 2 will be cut, and I have 2 root 2. So again I get p of minus 1 not equal to 0. So for this polynomial x plus 1 is not a factor of this polynomial, right? Very easy. Now we will see second question. So here is our second question. Same question like our first one, but asked in different type or different language. In this question we have to check whether gx is a factor of px, yes or no. Just simple as that. We have to check whether gx is a factor of px or no. By factor theorem we all know that if x minus a is a factor of px, then p of a will be 0. So we will compare gx is equal to x plus 1 by x minus a, right? Compare gx with x minus a. So by comparing x plus 1 with x minus a, you get a is equal to minus 1, right? Here I have plus 1, here I have minus 1, so I have to change the sign. Very easy. So by comparing gx is equal to x plus 1 with x minus a, I get a is equal to minus 1. Now just find p of minus 1, right? So for this polynomial, p of minus 1 will be 2 in bracket minus 1 cube plus minus 1 square minus 2 in bracket minus 1, and here also minus 1, right? So my answer will be, here I have to write minus 2, here I have to write plus 1, again plus 2 and minus 1. So minus 2 plus 2 cut, plus 1 minus 1 cut, so I get 0. So I get p of minus 1 is equal to 0, that is p of a. P of a is equal to p of minus 1, so I can say that gx is a factor of px, right? So you can write here by factor theorem, we can say gx is a factor of px, right? Very easy. Now we will find second one. We will check it for second one. Now in the second question we have gx is equal to x plus 2. So by comparing gx is equal to x plus 2 with x minus a, why we are comparing with x minus a? Because in factor theorem we have mentioned that by dividing x minus a, right? So we have to compare it with x minus a. Here I have x plus sign minus sign, so I have to change the sign, and a is equal to minus 2. Very easy, right? Now find p of a, that is equal to p of minus 2. Now for the second one, I have minus 2 cube plus 3 in bracket minus 2 square plus 3 in bracket minus 2 plus 1, right? So minus 2 cube will be minus 8, minus 2 square will be 4, multiply 3, that will be 12, minus 6 plus 1, right? So my final answer will be minus 8 minus 6, that is minus 14, and this is plus 13, so it is equal to minus 1, right? So minus 1, it does not equal to 0, that means gx is not a factor for px, right? You can write the sentence. First one we have gx is a factor of px, second one we don't have gx is factor of px, right? Now we will do third one. So for the third question, I have gx is equal to ax minus 3. By comparing x minus 3 to x minus a, my a will be only 3, right? So find p of a, that is equal to p of 3. Put 3 in this polynomial. So my answer will be 3 cube minus 4 in bracket 3 square plus 3 plus 6. Right? Very easy. 3 square, that is 27. Now 3 square, that is 9. Sorry, 3 cube, that is 27. 3 square, that is 9 for the 36. plus 3 plus 6, right? So my final answer will be minus 36 plus 9, that is also 36. So it will be equal to 0. So here's x minus 3 is a factor of px. Very easy. So to find a factor or to check whether the given polynomial is factor of another polynomial, we will use factor theorem, right? Now we will see question number 3. It is our question number 2. The question is find value of k if x minus 1 is factor of px. We have given that x minus 1 is factor of px in the question, right? So we have to use this to solve our questions. We have already done this type of question. This is the type of example number 7, right? Now for the first one, by factor theorem, we all know that if x minus a is factor of px, then p of a is equal to 0, right? Let me write it so you get it properly. By factor theorem, we can say that if x minus a is factor of p of x, then p of a is equal to 0, right? So we will use this. Here we have x minus 1 is factor of px. So by comparing x minus 1 with x minus a, I will get a is equal to plus 1. So I just have to use that p of a is equal to 0, that is p of 1 is equal to 0, right? So I will use p of 1 is equal to 0 in all the sentences, or sorry, in all the questions, right? So for the first one, find p of 1 is equal to 0, that is if I put value of x is 1, my answer will come 0. So 1 square plus 1, 1 square plus 1 plus k is equal to 0, right? Just you have to do, or sorry, just you have to put value of x is equal to 1 and compare it with is equal to 0, right? So p of 1 is equal to 0. So 1 square plus 1 plus k is equal to 0. That is 1 plus 1 plus k is equal to 0. So 2 plus k is equal to 0. That means k is equal to, if I transpose 2 to the other side, k is equal to minus 2. This is my answer. Very simple, right? Now we will do it for second one. Same process. Right? P of a is equal to 0. That means p of 1 is equal to 0. Right? So for this, p of 1 will be 2 bracket 1 square plus k bracket 1 plus root 2 is equal to 0. Now my answer will be 1 square, that is 1. So 2 multiply 1 plus 1 multiply k, that is k, plus root 2 is equal to 0. So if I write only k on this side of equation and transpose all other numbers to other side of equation, that is equal to minus 2 minus root 2, right? So my k will be minus 2 minus root 2. Very easy. Now we will do it for third one. Here we have p of x equal to kx square minus root 2x plus 1, right? So I have to write by factor theorem p of a is equal to 0, p of 1 will be 0. Now p of 1 for this is k bracket 1 square plus, sorry, minus root 2 bracket 1 plus 1 is equal to 0, right? Now I can write k minus root 2 plus 1 is equal to 0. If I transpose all other thing to the other side of equation except k, my answer will be root 2 minus 1. This will be my k, right? Very easy. Now we'll do it for fourth one. And to do it, I have to erase this one. Fourth one is p of a is equal to 0. So I can write p of 1 is equal to 0 and p of 1 is k bracket 1 square minus 3 in bracket 1 plus k is equal to 0, right? So I have to write k minus 3 plus k is equal to 0. That is 2k is equal to 3. I have transposed 3 on the other side of equation. K plus k will be 2k, right? So my final answer will be k is equal to 3 by 2, right? k is equal to 3 by 2. Here 2 is in multiplication, right? So this is the method that you will use to find value of k if you have given that k x minus 1 is factor of px, or any one polynomial is factor of another polynomial, right? Now we will see question number 4. In question number 4, we have to factorize given polynomials. If you see, these all polynomials are of quadratic polynomial, right? Quadratic type. So to factorize quadratic polynomial, the easiest method for us is using a middle term split method, right? So we'll do it. Our first question is p of x is equal to 12x square minus 7x plus 1. Now first step of middle term split is we have to write first term and last term as it is. Now for the two terms in between them, I have 7x here, so my first process will be I have to multiply coefficient of x square and constant term, that will be 12 multiply 1, right? You don't have to show this in your question, you will do it in the page. 12 multiply 1, that is 12. Now writing all the factor of 12, I have 1 and 12, then I have 2 and 6 and 3 and 4, right? These all are the factors of 12. You can write plus minus here, right? Now I have to use such a factor that my addition will come as minus 7, right? So because I have minus 7 is coefficient of x, so my goal is to find two factors such that addition will come as minus 7 and multiplication will come as plus 12, right? If I use 1 and 12, my addition will be 13. If I use both minus, so my addition will come as minus 13. I cannot use this. Now if I use 2 and 6, my addition will come as plus 8 or minus 8. I cannot use this because I have to get minus 7 as addition, right? Now I have 3 and 4. So if I use plus 3 and plus 4, my answer will come as plus 7, but I need minus 7. So I will use minus 3 and minus 4, right? Very easy. So let me use minus 3x minus 4x. Now we have to take a common out from first two terms, and I can take minus 3x, plus 3x as common. So I have to write 4x minus 1 here, right? Now in this term, try to make it same as this first bracket. So I have to take out minus sign from these two. So my answer will come as, if I take minus 1 common, so my answer will come as 4x minus 1, right? So from these two terms, I have 4x minus 1 as a common, so I can take it out common, 4x minus 1 in bracket 3x minus 1. This is my answer, right? Very simple and very quick. Now I have p of x is equal to 2x square plus 7x plus 3, right? So my first step will be writing first and last term as it is. Now for the middle term, I have to multiply coefficient of x square and constant term, that is 2 multiply 3. So it will be 6. Now factor of 6, 1, 6, 2, 3, right? Plus or minus. Now here I have coefficient of x is equal to 7. So my goal is to find factors such that the sum of their will be 7. So if I use 1 and 6, sum of 1 and 6 will be 7, right? So yes, I can use 1 and 7. Now here I want positive 7 and here also I have positive 6. So I will use only positive 1 and positive 6, right? So I can write plus 1x plus 6x, right? Very easy. Now take a common from these two, only x. So I have to write 2x in the bracket plus 1, right? Now from this I can take out 3 as a common, so in bracket I have to write 2x plus 1, very easy. Now 2x plus 1 is common for these two terms, so take it out and I can write ax from here and plus 3 from here. This is my answer, right? Very simple. Now we will see third one. Our third question is p of x is equal to 6x square plus 5x minus 6. Right, now my first step is writing first and last term as it is. Now I have to do a, let me use another marker. Now by writing first and last term as it is. Now I have to do a multiplication of coefficient of x square and constant term, that will be plus 6 multiply minus 6. Don't forget to take a sign with you, right? So 6 multiply minus 6, that will be minus 36. Writing a factor of minus 36 will be 1 multiply 36, then 2 multiply 18, then 3 multiply 12, 4 multiply 9, 6 multiply 6, right? These all are the factors. In all I can write plus minus plus minus plus minus and plus minus. Now my goal is I have a coefficient of x is equal to 5, so I have to use two factors such that their addition or subtraction will be equal to 5. Sorry, their addition should be equal to 5, only 5. Now if I use 36 and 1, I have no chance to get 5. If I use 18 and 2, no chance to get 5, right? If I use 12 and 3, then again I have no chance, because 12 and 3 will be, if I do so see here, you have to notice one thing. I have multiplication as minus 36, right? So in all the term I have to use, so or in all the factor I have to use one as a negative and one as a positive. What I am saying is, if I use 36 and 1, I have to use minus 36 and 1, or 36 and minus 1, because multiplication of these two will come as multiplication of this, right? This both. So I have to get minus 36 as here. So now I cannot use 18 and 2, because the sum of 18 and 2 will be, like, if I use minus 18 plus 2, my sum will come minus 16. And if I use 18 and minus 2, it will give answer as 16. So I cannot use this. Now again for 12 and 3, my answer will be plus 8 or minus 8. So I cannot use this. Now again 4 and 9. So if I use plus 4 and minus 9, my answer will be minus 5, right? But here I want plus 5. So I have to use minus 4 and plus 9. Then my answer will come as plus 5. So we got answer here. I have to write plus 9x minus 4x, right? Plus 9x minus 4x. I have to see two criteria only. Multiplication of both middle term should come as multiplication of coefficient of x square and constant term. You have to see the sign, right? You have to notice the sign. Here I want minus 36, so plus 9 minus 4. If I do multiplication of this both, my answer will be minus 36. Now addition of this both middle term should come as coefficient of middle term. So I have plus 9 minus 4, that is equal to plus 5, right? Now take a common out from first two terms. My common term will be 3x, right? So in the bracket I have to write 2x plus 3. Now from here, in this bracket I have put plus sign, so I have to take minus sign common to make a second bracket look like this, and I can take only 2, right? So 2x plus 3 will be my second term. Now I can take out common 2x plus 3, and other bracket will be 3x minus 2. Very easy, right? Now it's time to do fourth question. Let me do it here only. My fourth question is p of x is equal to 3x square minus x minus 4. Right, now write first term and last term as it is. Now do multiplication of coefficient of x square and constant term, that will be 3 multiply minus 4. So my answer will come as minus 12. Now write all the factors of minus 12. I have to write 1 12, then 2 6 and 3 4, all positive negative. Now I want minus 1 as a addition of the two factors, right? Because I have b is equal to minus 1. So if I use 1 and 12, there is no chance to get minus 1. If I use 2 and 6, there is no chance to get minus 1. If I will use 3 and 4, so I can get minus 1. Now here I have minus 12, so I have to use one factor as positive and one as negative. So if I use plus 3 and minus 4, then 3 multiply minus 4 will be minus 12, and 3 plus minus 4 will be minus 1 also. So I will use plus 3x minus 4x, right? Now I can take a common 3x from first two terms, so my answer will be, in my bracket will be x plus 1. I can take minus 4 common from these two, so my bracket will be x plus 1. So x plus 1 is a common term and 3x minus 4 in another bracket. So these are my factors, right? Very easy. So here is our question number 4, last question of exercise 2.3. We have to factorize these polynomials. Now here you can see we have all cubic polynomials, right? So we have learned what is the method to solve a cubic polynomial in example number 10, I think, right? So to find a cubic polynomial, our first step is we have to find one factor by trial and error method for with use of factor theorem, right? So my first question is p of x is equal to x cube minus 2x square minus x plus 2, right? So if I use to use a factor theorem or trial and error method, you have to look at constant term. Now factor of constant term are 1 and 2 only, right? See, you don't have to show this in your question, right? You can do it in your rough page only. So my constant term is plus 2, so my factors are 1 and 2 only. Plus 1 minus 1 plus 2 minus 2, right? Now start by checking, let x is equal to plus 1. So p of 1 is equal to 1 cube minus 2 in bracket 1 square minus 1 plus 2, right? So 1 cube will be 1 minus 2 minus 1 plus 2. So my final answer is 0. Once you get p of a is equal to 0, that means by factor theorem I can say p of 1 is equal to 0. So by factor theorem I can say that ax minus a, that is equal to ax minus 1, because I have a is equal to 1, right? P of a is equal to 1. So x minus 1 is factor of p of x. This will be your first step to solve a question of or to factorize a cubic polynomials, right? You have to find one factor by trial and error method. If I didn't get 0 in the answer of p of 1, so I will try p of minus 1, then I will try p of 2, and I will try p of minus 2, right? So my first factor is x minus 1. Now let us write that p of x is equal to x cube minus 2x square minus x plus 2, right? So I can write that x minus 1 is a factor of p of x. So I have to find second bracket. Now how will you find second bracket? To find second bracket, you have to divide this with this. Now if you want to use long division method, you can use long division method. See, you don't have to show this in your question, right? Just write like this, and in the second bracket you have to write a quotient by dividing px with x minus 1. Very simple. I will use synthetic method. So in synthetic method you have to write coefficient of your cubic polynomial in the first row. That will be 1 minus 2 then minus 1 and plus 2. Very easy. Now in the second row I have to write 0 for first, because it is in the rule, right? Now I will write, I have x minus 1 here, so by putting x minus 1 is equal to 0, my x will be plus 1, so I will write 1 here, right? You have to just remember these two steps, then your process is very easy. X minus 1 is equal to 0, so x is equal to plus 1. This one is written here. Now just add 1 and 2 first in second row, and your answer will be plus 1. Now multiply 1 with this one, write your answer here. 1 multiplied 1 is 1, so I have written 1 here. Now add minus 2 plus 1, your answer will be minus 1. Now multiply minus 1 with plus 1, your answer will be again minus 1, right? Now just add minus 1 and minus 1, your answer will be minus 2. Now multiply minus 2 with plus 1, write your answer here, minus 2 plus 1, that will be minus 2, right? Now add plus 2 and minus 2, your answer is 0. These three are coefficients of quadratic polynomial, and last one is a remainder. So my quadratic polynomial will be x square 1x square minus 1 uh, let me write it directly, you will get it, right? There is no rocket science in this, right? These are the coefficients of quadratic polynomial. So I can write x square minus x minus 2. This will be my quotient once I divide this with this. So I can write x square minus x minus 2, right? So to find factors of cubic polynomial, your first step is find a factor with trial and error method. We have done it. Now we can write x minus 1 and another bracket here. What will be your another bracket? Another bracket is constant or quotient of the quotient that you get by dividing px with x minus 1. I have used synthetic method because it will be very easy for you. Now we have x minus 1 here. Now we can do factorization of this polynomial because it is a quadratic polynomial. We can do it by splitting the middle term. So my first term will come as it is, last term will come as it is. Now I have minus 2 and 1 here. Multiplication of coefficient of x square and constant term minus 2 plus 1, that will be minus 2. Now factors of minus 2 are only 1 and 2, nothing else, right? Plus 1 minus 1 plus 2 minus 2. I want to get answer by addition is minus 1, coefficient of x, that is minus 1. So I have to use, to get answer minus 1, I have to use minus 2 and plus 1. I have no other way, right? So I will use minus 2x plus 1x, right? Now write x minus 1 as it is in this bracket. Let me use red marker so you will get it. Write x minus 1 as it is. Now in second bracket, take a common from first two term. My common number will be x only, right? So in bracket I have to write x minus 2. Now I have plus 1 in bracket x minus 2. So my final answer will be, let me write x minus 1 here. This is my first factor. Now in these two I have x minus 2 as a common term. So in another bracket I can write x plus 1, right? So this is my final answer. X minus 1, x minus 2 and x plus 1. These three are the factors of this cubic polynomial. If you multiply these three, you will get answer as x cube minus 2x square minus x plus 2, right? So I think you get the method. Once you get the method, it is very easy for you to solve the questions. Now it's time to do second question. Here is our second question. We have px is equal to x cube minus 3x square minus 9x minus 5. Now we have to find a first factor by trial and error method of factor theorem. So we have minus 5 as constant term, right? So factors of minus 5 are plus minus 1 and plus minus 5. So we will start with plus 1. Let x is equal to plus 1. Now p of 1 will be 1 cube minus 3 bracket 1 square minus 9 bracket 1 minus 5, right? So 1 cube will be 1 minus 3 minus 9 minus 5. So my answer will be 9, 5, 3, 8, 9 minus 17 plus 1, that is minus 16. It is not equal to 0. So we have to use, sorry, we have to try another one. So let us take x is equal to minus 1. Now if I take x equal to minus 1, my p of minus 1 will be minus 1 cube minus 3 bracket minus 1 square minus 9 bracket minus 1 minus 5, right? Now minus 1 cube will be minus 1. Again I have minus 3 here. Now I have to write plus 1 here and minus 5 here. So minus 3 minus 1 minus 4 minus 5 minus 9 plus 9. My answer will be 0. So once you get 0, you can say that here I have p of a is equal to p of minus 1 is equal to 0. So by factor theorem, I can write x minus a is a factor that is equal to x minus, I have a is equal to minus 1. So x minus minus 1, this will be, let me write it here, x minus a is a factor. So x minus minus 1 is equal to x plus 1 is our first factor, right? So we can write that for our polynomial x cube minus 3x square minus 9x minus 5. See, don't confuse with sign, right? I got a is equal to minus 1 and my factor will be x minus a. So put value of a, that is minus 1 here. Minus minus will be plus 1 here, right? So ax plus 1 is my first factor. Now I have to find second factor. So how can you find second factor? See, if you don't want to don't want to show this in your answer, you can do it in your up page, right? Once you get answer as 0, just mention this in your question, so it will look like a good presentation, right? Now to find second bracket, you have to divide this with this. I will use which method? Synthetic division method, right? Let me do it here only. Let me erase it, right? Because we don't need this. Now, to use synthetic method, I have coefficient of cubic polynomial are 1, then minus 3, minus 9, and minus 5. Write it in first row. Now your second row, for second row, first number will be 0 always, right? Now, here what you have to write, I have x plus 1 here. So, compare x plus 1 is equal to 0, find value of x, that will be minus 1. So, write minus 1 here. Why I have done this x plus 1 is equal to 0? Because I have to divide it, this polynomial with x plus 1, right? Now, I have minus 1 here. You have to do addition in columns, and to your answer you have to multiply it with minus 1, right? So 1 plus 0, that will be 1. Now 1 multiply minus 1, that will be minus 1. Again, minus 3 plus minus 1, you have to do addition here, right? Minus 3 plus minus 1, what will be your answer? Minus 4. Now you have to multiply minus 4 and minus 1, what will be your answer? Our answer will be plus 4, right? So write plus 4 here. Now minus 9 plus 4 will be minus 5. Minus 5 multiplied minus 1, this will be plus 5, right? So minus 5 plus 5 will be 0. These three are coefficient of your quadratic polynomial, and this is a remainder. So I can write my quadratic polynomial will be x square minus 4x minus 5. Very easy. So I can write it here, x square minus 4x minus 5, right? Now we all know that how to solve a quadratic polynomial. We can do it by just only using splitting the middle term method. I have to write x plus 1 here. These are two brackets. Now I have to write first term and last term as it is. So I have written x square minus 5 as it is. Now I have to multiply coefficient of x square and constant term, that will be 1 multiply minus 5 will equal to minus 5. Now so factors of minus 5 are 1 and 5 only, plus 1 minus 1 plus 5 minus 5. I have minus 4 here. So I have to use minus 5 and plus 1 only, right? Because I want multiplication is minus 5. Minus 5 multiply plus 1, that will be minus 5. And addition is minus 4. Minus 5 plus 1, that will be minus 4. So I can write plus 1x here, minus 5x here. Now I can take a common from these first two terms, and it will be x only. So I can write x plus 1 in the bracket. Now try to make a second bracket just look like as like first bracket. So I can take minus 5 as common. So I will get x plus 1 in second bracket, right? Now let me write it as it is, x plus 1. Now I can take x plus 1 is common from these two terms. So let me write x plus 1 is common, and another bracket I have to write x minus 5. These are my factors for second polynomial, second cubic polynomial, right? Very easy method. First you have to find first factor by factor theorem, trial and error method, in which you can use factors of constant term, then it will be very easy for you. Now for the second bracket, you have to divide the cubic polynomial with your first factor. You can use synthetic division method for easy calculation. Now once you get a quadratic polynomial, you can solve it very easily. Now here is our third question. Third polynomial, x cube plus 13x square plus 32x plus 20. Now focus on constant term. I have 20 is a constant term. So factors of 20 are 1, 20, 2, 10, 4, 5. Right? Plus or minus in all the factors. So I will start with plus 1. But if you can see that all the terms are positive in this polynomial. So to get answer as 0, if I use only any positive value as x, my answer will not come as 0, right? So let me try it with minus 1. So p of minus 1, what will be your answer? We will see. If I find a value of p of minus 1, right? Let x equal to -1. So p of -1 will be -1 cube plus 13 bracket -1 square plus 32 bracket -1 plus 20. So -1 cube, that will be -1, it will be plus 13, it will be -32 plus 20. So my final answer will be plus 33 and -33. So it will cut down and my final answer come as p of -1 equal to 0, right? So p of a is equal to p of -1 is equal to 0. So by factor theorem I can say that x minus a is a factor, and for this question I have x minus, here I have a is equal to -1, so x minus -1, that will be equal to x plus 1 is a factor, right? So I can write that p of x equal to x cube plus 13x square plus 32x plus 20. My first factor is x plus 1, right? Because I get x plus 1 is factor. Now let me write x plus 1 here. Now my second step is to find a second bracket here. How can we find it? By dividing this polynomial with x plus 1. We will use synthetic method to do it. Write all the coefficient of cubic polynomial here, that are 1, 13, 32 and 20. Right? Now in the second row, your first number will be 0 always, right? I have to divide it with x plus 1, so ax plus 1 is equal to 0, x is equal to -1. So write -1 here, right? Now just add numbers in columns and multiply it with -1. So 1 plus 0, that will be equal to plus 1. Now -1 multiply plus 1, that will be equal to -1. Write -1 here. 13 minus 1. If I do addition, then my answer will come as 12. 12 multiply -1, it will be -12. Now 32 plus -12, it will be 20 only, right? Now -1 multiplied 20, it will be -20. If I add these two, my answer will be 0. So these are the coefficient of quadratic polynomial, and last one is a remainder. So my quadratic polynomial will be x square plus 12x plus 20. Very simple. Write it here, x square plus 12x plus 20. Now I can solve this quadratic polynomial by splitting the middle term method. So my answer will be, my first step will be, I have to write x square and 20 as it is. Now I have to multiply coefficient of x square and constant term, that will be equal to 1 multiply 20 equal to 20, right? Now factors of 20 are 1 and 20, 2 and 10, and 4 and 5. 4 and 5. Now you can see that I want sum as 12, right? And multiplication as 20. So I can use 2 and 10, right? You can see by just showing it. 2 plus 10, that is equal to 12. So I will use plus 2x plus 10x here, right? Now I can take a common x from first two terms. So my bracket will be x plus 2. Take a common from these two terms. This is 20, right? So I can take 10 as common. So it will also be x plus 2. Now I can take x plus 2 as a common. So my third bracket will be x plus 10. So these three are the factors of given cubic polynomial. Very easy, right? Now we will see our fourth and last question of exercise 2.3. Here is our fourth and last question. We have 2y cube plus y square minus 2y minus 1, right? Now here we have y as a variable, so we have to write p of y, right? P of y will be 2y cube plus y square minus 2y minus 1. Now here we have constant term as -1, so we will start with +1 and -1 only. So let me take y is equal to +1. So my p of 1 equal to 2 bracket 1 plus 1 minus 2 bracket 1 minus 1, right? Here I have cube and square. Now this will be 2 plus 1 minus 2 minus 1. So my answer will be 3 minus 3. So I get p of 1 is equal to 0, right? Now by factor theorem we all know that p of a, that is p of 1 here, if we got p of 1 equal to 0, that means y minus a is a factor of p of y, right? You have to take all the variables same in all full definition, right? So y minus a is factor of p of y. Now here we have y minus value of a is 1, so y minus 1. Y minus 1 is our first factor. Very easy, right? You don't have to get confused one with variables, right? You can write x, y, anything that is mentioned in your question. Now, we have p of y that is equal to 2y cube plus y square minus 2y minus 1. Now, my first factor is y minus 1. Let me write it all the way. So, y minus 1. Now, my second bracket will be, I can get it by dividing 2y cube plus y square minus 2y minus 1 with y minus 1. Let us use synthetic method, synthetic division. Coefficient of cubic polynomial are 2, 1, minus 2 and minus 1, right? 2, 1, minus 2 and minus 1. Now I have to write 0 here always. Now here what I have to write, I have y minus 1 here, right? So y minus 1 equal to 0, y equal to plus 1. So write plus 1 here. Now just do a addition for 2 and 0. My answer will be 2. Now do multiplication of 2 and 1. Right answer here. 1 multiplied 2, that will be 2. Now 1 plus 2, that will be 3. So 3 multiply 1, that will be again 3. Minus 2 multiply minus 3, that will be plus 1. Now 1 multiply 1, that will be minus 1. So here I have to write 0. Right? This is a remainder and these three are coefficient of quadratic polynomial. So my quadratic polynomial will be 2x square plus 3x plus 1. Very easy, right? 2x square plus 3x plus 1 here. So I can solve this quadratic polynomial very easily. First you have to write 2x square plus 1 as it is. Now multiplication of 2 and 1 will be equal to 2. Factors of 2 are 1 and 2 only. Now I have to use 3 as a addition. So just simple, write 2x here and x here. Now I can take a common 2x, so I get 2x plus 1 in bracket. Here I have to take only 1 as common, so I have x plus 1 in second bracket. So I can take x plus 1, this bracket is common, and another bracket will be 2x plus 1. So this is your factors for given cubic polynomial. Sorry, I have done a mistake here. Here we have variable as y. So I have to use y, not x, right? So I have to change it. Don't do this mistake in your exam. It will be very costly for you because you have done all the process right but just written variable wrong. Right? So I have changed all the y. So remember this thing. Now we have completed exercise 2.3. We will see exercise 2.4 and all necessary concept and identities required to solve that, right? So see you in next lecture.